In a moment, in the wink of an eye, in a moment, as the world passes by, you can see a smile as it breaks, and the magic that it makes. In a moment, just a casual glance changes slowly to the maddest romance, a new life, a new attitude. In a moment's interlude.
Wise Guys Cooking is brought to you by Everson Spice. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Frankie.
Take it, maestro. It seems we stood and talked like this before. We looked at each other the same way then, but I can't remember where or when. The clothes you're wearing were the clothes you wore. The smile you were smiling then, but I can't remember where or when. Some things that happen for the first time seem to be happening again. And so it seems that we have met before and loved before, right there on the floor, but who knows where or when. Hey, we'll be right back. Stick around.
Yeah. Well, I haven't heard anything about my birthday party. Whoa, what birthday party? And I said, and so she said, well, I'd kind of like to have a band, and I'd kind of like to have, you know, all this food and all this. So I hustled upstairs and talked to them about setting something up. And I said, you know, they said, how many will it be? And I said, oh, 25 or 30. And so she made a list, and it was, what, 100 some people, Joe?
A lot of
and
people.
I went to Joe, and I said, Joe, I need a band. I need a band. Joe said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
I got it.
And he got it, and he brought his band in, and they were wonderful.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, buenas tardes, buenos días. Mi nombre es José Luis Hernandez Rivera. My name is Joe Hernandez. I'm here basically to introduce myself to you. And I have a very good friend, Mr. Colonna, mio fratello, that he would like me to speak with you a little bit about me and a little bit of the experiences I've had here in the valley, the Coachella Valley, with a lot of the people, the wonderful people I've met, from sports figures to legends to Mr. Colonna, etc. For the beginning, I started my career. I'm a fifth generation barber. So I'm the fifth generation, which has been a very prolonged, beautiful career. And along with that, my father was a very famous musician in Mexico. And my mother was an opera singer. So I took up the music, and because of the music, I was introduced to a lot of wonderful people in that industry. Among them, from Gregory Peck, from Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, everybody from that particular era, and I've had nothing but wonderful experiences. Among them, the best experiences I've had in my career was meeting very good friend, Mr. Frank Sinatra, may he rest in peace, God bless him, and all the experiences I had playing for him on his birthdays. Mrs. Sinatra, Barbara Sinatra, was very, very kind to invite me to a lot of her fundraising campaigns, and we did that. She was involved with everything in the valley, and also invited me to play for Mr. Sinatra, her husband, at his birthday parties. And with these, I met a lot of his very close friends, and he introduced me to a lot of wonderful people. And basically, I didn't know any of them because they were unknown to me, but we continued every year, you know, until his very passing. So I'm very proud to share that with you. But the experience I had with these people, especially with Mr. Sinatra, I'd like to name him above all because of the fact that he always was so generous and very conscientious of the entertainers. I'm a mariachi. I play mariachi music. And he was always so conscientious of us. He would always have a separate table and invite us to dinner while he and his guests had dinner. And he says, I don't want you to play for me. I want you to have dinner with us. If you feel like playing, Joe, go right ahead. So it was the very first and the very last, because nobody's ever done that for us, which was very, very unique. But among those people, we had the pleasure of meeting some of his friends, which was one, for example, that I can never forget, is Mr. Gregory Peck. Mr. Gregory Peck and Mr. Sinatra made a wager one time, and Mr. Peck wagered to Mr. Sinatra that I was too young to know a specific song. And this specific song belonged to me because it was their bet. He says, Mr. Sinatra says, Joe, he has a request and I bet him that you know it. The bet, I don't know what it was, but I said, Mr. Sinatra, I don't mind disappointing Mr. Peck, but I don't want to disappoint you. So ask him what the song is. Coincidentally, the song he chose was Nunca Jamás. In English means never again. And the song was written by my grandpa, Lalo Guerrero. So Lalo Guerrero wrote it, and I told Mr. Sinatra that he had won the bet automatically, because not only did I see the song, sung the song, and written the song again, but I sang it better than both my grandfather and my father. So that was it. Upon singing that, Mr. Sinatra went over to Mr. Peck and received the wager that they made. And he turned immediately around and he says, Joe, this is yours. It was 3 $100 bills. Unbelievable. And he says, don't worry about it. It's yours. I said, Mr. Sinatra, I can't take this. It's your win. Just nonsense. He's going to get it for me on the next round of golf we play. So that was the funniest thing that I've ever seen. But this is one of the examples. Among them, we have an array of performances setting from the Hollywood Bowl, the Greek Theater. We were involved with Holiday on Ice Capades, the Ice Capades in Los Angeles, Knott's Berry Farm, the Six Flags Magic Mountain. Initially, we inaugurated all these places and ultimately ended up performing for Disneyland and Buena Park. When we did that, unbeknown to us, they were going to create a new Disney in Florida, which was called Disney World. Specifically, they wanted a Mexican mariachi group, which was our family, father and 4 brothers, and we performed for them from the very beginning in its inception. So from there, I decided to come to here. We're promoting Disney, representing Disney, and we had the privilege of being the very first live entertainment at the Rose Parade. On a float, was very shaky, but it was a very good experience, and they just basically harnessed and made everything correctly for us. Because of that, we're still here. Now, 45, 47 years later, we're here, and I'm very happy to do that. I met, among all the beautiful people here at La Quinta Country Club, I'm their barber for 42 years. Among them, I met Mr. Colonna, of course. And he asked me to do this interview, and I said, of course I'd do it. I know his program in the morning for the Breakfast Club, and I wanted to promote my mariachi music in his program, and he says that would be a wonderful international idea. So he has great ideas, and he has great interviews, and among them there are a lot of very talented people. I would like to be a part of it, as this is an introduction of me. So this is what I would like to share with you. Very good.
That's in a moment, in the wink of an eye, in a moment, as As the world passes by, you can see a smile as it breaks, and the magic that it makes. In a moment, just a casual glance changes slowly to the maddest romance, a new life, a new attitude, in a moment's interlude. In a matter of no time at all, you can win with your back to the wall. With a car to the river, your aces, home run on the bases. In a moment, though you're desperate and down, in a moment, it can all turn around. It's a fact I've known to be true from the moment I saw you.